All right, welcome back. I've got a very special video that I think we should watch together. Why black corporate women struggle to find marriage, not find a man, not find sex, but find marriage. The unspoken truth. So I don't know if you want to call this series. We did a video the other time, a reaction video about why why you should never marry in your 20s. You have no business talking about marriage in 20. I disagree. Okay. Because they're about to tell you that the magic age is 30, and it's not. None of the ages are magic. All right, and that is the least factor that affects if you are going to, right? It's just one of like 2,000 other factors. Age is not the same thing as maturity. Some people actually are matured enough to engage that life journey as early as even 21. Typically, because of society evolving, I would say 25, 27. 30, 32, if that's when it happens for you, beautiful, right? But don't, the idea that if you just wait till a certain age and suddenly beautiful marriage happens is a lie. That's just a lie. You're starting at ground zero like the rest of us whenever you decide to start. Okay, so we covered that. I also did another series that you probably watched before this on mothers should stop telling their daughter to push marriage to 30s. You're going to hurt your daughters if you keep doing that. Okay, yeah, you're going to hurt your daughters because you're going to put all the attention of what they need to learn on age, and that's false. Okay, all right, now we're going to talk about why black corporate. There's a video that I want to play for you, as I said, if I can find the video now, that I want to play so we can, okay, I found it. So we can, this is coming from a corporate person's mouth, and let's rub minds together. Let's see if we can learn one or two things, shall we?
Single. I don't have children, and people ask me like, what happened? And I'm a heterosexual woman, right?
She said, when I say I'm single and I don't have children and I'm a heterosexual woman, people say, what happened? Because she's a woman of a certain age and she's a black corporate, well off, doing well for herself. So, and that's what she's talking about. So let me start from scratch.
I'm single. I don't have children, and people ask me like, what happened? And I'm a heterosexual woman, right? And so it's like, well, a couple things happened. I think first and foremost, I always say I spent two.
Shout out to Earn Your Leisure. She was on Earn Your Leisure podcast. They are all about finances. I don't know why they're talking about this topic, but let's keep going.
Too much time on the wrong relationships.
Spending too much time on the wrong relationships. Oh, that's a fantastic point. Spending too much time on the wrong relationships. Go figure. How did that happen? Time. Oh, I don't want to marry yet. Well, I don't want to marry yet, but you're going to end up in a relationship, right? Aha. You're going to engage emotionally, romantically with other people, but yet you're not ready, right? Or maybe you're not saying you're not ready. It's just not happening because nobody's rushing anybody, right? Why the pressure, right? By the way, I hate pressure too. This is just a public platform. Please don't say I'm pressurizing you. This is a public platform. We're talking about everything. Okay? If I knew you personally, you would not be hearing this from me. Okay? But you also come here for a reason. You want me to tell you what I'm thinking, right? So, well, we got all the time in the world. Guess what you're doing in that time? You're doing kerewa. You're having sex. You're doing relationships. You're collecting breakfast or audition. It's the same thing. Ultimately, the same thing. Okay? Because if the relationship was working, you would be in it, right? So she's making a point. Let's keep going.
I tell any young woman, get in and get out. It's the OG classic.
So she also is telling women, get in and get out.
The
Jay-Z
OG
said.
classic.
That's what Jay-Z said.
Now you're speaking the language.
Right?
Now you speaking of
Get in and get out.
Get out. If it works, great. If it doesn't, move on as quickly as possible.
Move on as quickly as possible. Like you just moved on. Nothing happened. After all, it's just body. It's just body counts. What's the big deal? We just move forward, right? Forget all that so tie stuff. What is so tie? Nothing. It's just quickos. You move on. Get in, get out. To women in this social construct is a bad idea. Okay? Not only to women, but particularly to women. It's a bad idea. There's a social construct. We're not going to pretend that there's no social construct here. Not judged by men, judged for the most part by women themselves. But let's just say society at large. Okay? It's a bad idea. It's not working. Let's keep going.
Civil, right? Learn the lesson, forgive, and move on. So I didn't necessarily do that as often as perhaps I should have. But I also think,
she didn't do that. That means she got stuck in one relationship for way too long. She should have been in and out. She didn't say she should have gotten married. She said she should have been in and out. She's going to replace being in a long-term relationship in her 20s all the way to her 30s, building all those money, getting corporate money, building her career. So she's saying, I should have, instead of one relationship, they're all romantic, I should have had 15 of those relationships. See solutions. Oh God.
Creating a space to date and explore. Women that are driven in their careers,
they don't have time,
tend to forget about how intentional you need to be about dating.
That's another thing.
No, they don't tend to forget. They are preaching to themselves that there's no rush. Whereas it's not a matter of rush. Rush is not relevant. It's putting life on hold, essentially. I could just be a city girl, right? When I'm not in the office, and just travel around the world and the world will wait for me, right? She's talking. Let her keep talking.
I'm glad you said that. They don't have time.
They don't have time. They don't make time.
They don't make the time.
They don't make the time.
They have the time. They don't make the time.
They don't make it because
they don't make time to date.
It's exhausting, right? When you're constantly coming up against the men that may not be equally yoked. I'm single. I don't have children, and people.
The men that may not be equally yoked. She's constantly coming and finding the men that may not be equally yoked. That's what she just said. That is a pregnant statement to say. But I don't have much opinions on this, except that this is the results. Okay? When I say results, like I don't have all the stuff I say, they're not opinions like that. I'm just saying, can you pay attention to the results we're creating? That's all I'm saying. That's all I am saying. Let's keep paying attention to. I'm not God. Me. I'm not God. I cannot determine or predict somebody's future. I can only tell you what I see, what I observe, right? I don't know who this woman is. It's just on a public platform, and she said what she said. And then she came up with a solution. Instead of one long relationship, just replace it with 15 chopped up relationship. She didn't say 15 precisely, but multiples. Get in and out. And solve what problem exactly? What are the expectations we're looking to get from that? And then she's also assuming that when she get in and out, she's free. Like she does not collect bodies. When I say body, I'm not talking body count. I'm talking about in every sense. Spiritually, mentally, physical. Right? Do we really get away with that? We're doing that? I don't know. What do you think? What do you believe? Do you get away with get in and out and out? Well, after all, we said men can do it without. Yeah, we said men, not just men that say men. Society at large says men. On a general scale, they can do that and get away with that. Can women do the same? Listen, there's a difference between can they do the same or they should be able to do the same. There's a two different thing, right? Should they be able to do the same? Whatever you feel, I agree with you. As a matter of fact, you're right. You're right.
Well, you're right.
But that's the answer to should they be able to. Can they do that? Particularly with expectations of just women in society. Can you do that without getting judged or being judged by the society? Even most especially by women. Should you let's not worry about what people say. Sure, if you can do that, absolutely.
Well, You're right.
If you can do without worrying about what people say, do you? I'm not being condescending. I'm telling you the fact of life. At the end of the day, all of this is empty. Vanity upon vanity. Everybody will end, one day. So no big deal. So if you are sure of that, please just do what works for you, right? But these are the results we're creating. I just want you to see it since you're here. Someone say, I love the self-reflection, self-awareness, and self-grace. Keep going, EP. The self-reflection in that, okay, I guess. Self-awareness. She's replacing long-term relationship with 15 of them. If you say so, maybe I'm taking it out of context. I didn't listen to. It's fair to say I didn't listen to the full podcast, okay? And no, I can't. I don't have to listen to the full podcast to speak on this. I can write a book about this. That's a person testimony. Somebody said, can I borrow a chapter? Because same. What they're saying is that I'm a woman too, and I'm going through the same thing. Why? Because they keep meeting men who are unequally yoked. What does that mean? Is that what Brother Ben meant when he said the pool continues to reduce? Is that what we were trying to say when we're talking about, we're confused between probabilities and possibilities? You know, possibilities exist. Miracle, no, they tire Jesus. Oh, right? But probabilities, math, right? We actually know how many people are here on earth. It's about 8 billion people, right? You think you're that special? Okay, all right. If you think so, yeah, you might just be special. Possibility, miracles, no, they tire Jesus. Oh, I mean that. But if you want to play this game in a way that favors you and your loved ones, please start to pay attention to your talking points that are not necessarily serving you. The reality is that as human beings, I play off of possibilities too, and I pray for all these different possibilities personally. But I better pay attention to, sometimes I might just be delusional. Face the reality and work with the resources that God has given me, as opposed to pretend like it's all unlimited. It's me paying attention to the limited resources and how limited they are that can make it unlimited. If I ignore that they actually come as limited, I might just hurt myself. That goes for all of us. I just don't want us to be moving mad like there are no consequences for certain decisions we're making. Wherever you are, I need to keep reminding you, because some of you just here with a certain perspective, okay? Wherever you are in life right now, it's not too late. It's what you do with the now. So don't project all of this on yourself. If I say anything, the idea is to take the now and don't take it for granted. Please don't put life on hold. It's impossible. Wherever you are right now, 20, 30, 40, 50, don't take it for granted. Don't tell yourself that you're just going to be here forever. It's not true. It's just not true. Okay. She pointed out a life lesson. If it doesn't work, move on quickly. We must create content. God forbid bad thing. In addition to my previous comment, as an older millennial who grew up in a single parent home, you were taught to get your education, go to college and have fun and make something of yourself. Marriage will come later, they said. Many of us weren't taught how to date or even prioritize relationship. You were not taught to prioritize relationship, not necessarily marriage, just the skills that is necessary to build and nurture healthy relationships. Because focus on your PhD. It was all a terrible idea. That's what I'm saying. That was all a terrible idea. We need to, if we created bad results, we need to pay attention. Let's not wait until it's too late. In college, I saw my white colleague getting an education and dating for marriage. Mrs. Degree, LOL. MRS degree, sorry. I wish these types of conversation about relationship dating were had at younger ages, especially in black culture. Nigerians, Now don't they borrow what wasn't yours before. You gotta pay attention. A lot of us was told what not to do versus what to do. Don't do this, don't do that, don't do that. Don't touch a boy or you get pregnant. How did that turn out? People are getting pregnant. And in all honesty, many of our parents probably didn't know. They didn't know either. They just didn't know. And it's okay to say you didn't know. It's okay. But we got to look at our results and say we can do better. We have to look at it with naked eyes, not spiritual eyes, not possibility eyes. With, hey, that's not, we had a different intention, but we created something different. What happened here? Well, a bunch of people have been marrying early and they're getting divorced. The same issue, because nobody taught them how to nurture relationships from much younger age. Same issues. And then, oh, let's just wait longer and you magically fall. No, it won't. It gets worse. However, we know better, we do better. Great content and conversation. Good point. Exhausting. The men that may not be equally yoked, and you can feel it date one, and you don't have the time for 1,000 first dates. She's gonna do more dates, but she doesn't have time. And that was self-reflection. Really Ninja? Okay. Even though in seasons you do that and it's exhausting, true. And maybe I misinterpret all of that. Honestly, all of it is just English, okay? The reality is that the results are not good. Being intentional about having a family is key. Facts. Black women have been conditioned to postpone marriage and childbearing until they've secured the bag, gotten their degree. This is Dr. Judy, a lady. Shout out to Dr. Judy saying this. Until they've secured the bag, gotten their degree, etc. Even I don't subscribe to that for men. Don't tell men to wait until they get their money together before they think about marriage. It's a terrible advice. Okay, now there's nuances here. He has to be able to take care of himself and a couple of other people, right? But you don't have to secure all the bags before you can do that, right? Once you're a man and you have a small apartment, you can take care of yourself and a couple of other people. You can, and you can start building and start growing together with the person. You're going to do that anyway. It's just that you're putting this one paperwork on hold. You call it marriage. Don't do the marriage thing, but you're going to start having sex with everybody that gives you the opportunity. Who are you deceiving? Okay. My family and church members said the same thing to me, but this is horrible advice. It's a horrible advice. You notice I'm yelling this? You notice I'm stressing this? I'm trying to drive a point home. Let's have a conversation around this. I'm open. It's a horrible advice. It's just bad advice. It does not fix the problem you're trying to fix. You're not talking about the problem. You're just looking for quick fix, cookie cutter fixer. Having your own money is not going to sustain marriage. The same thing goes for men. That does not necessarily mean same pot. But having your own money, that's quote unquote have your own money. No, that's just a way to escape a bad situation already. I agree. But let's talk about how to actually be proactive about building good situations. Because once you exit that one, aren't you going to enter another one? Do you want to enter another one with the same mindset? Could it work? It will not work. A man's current income shouldn't be something to rule him out by. Well, she said unequally yoked. Also, some women are focused on the wrong things. One's income can change over time. It's going to change. It's a fact. They're going to lose their job. They're going to lose money. They're going to make the wrong moves. They're going to engage in the business and lose all the money. Well, it doesn't have to be that way. Well, we know you are holy. Pass. It will never happen to you. We get it. We're talking about majority of human peoples, right? One's income can change over time. No condition is permanent. That's true for all of us. Let's not deceive ourselves, okay? One can make 6 figures today and lose their job and become sick and unable to work. What's more important is character, connection, compatibility, similar values, a strong work ethic, and a desire to provide for and protect his family. Lastly, it's unrealistic for black women to require a man make 6 figures when most men, period, don't make that amount, and they themselves probably don't either. 17% of all men earn over $100,000. It's about 6% for black women. I don't think that matters. I think your circle is what matters ultimately. I don't think those numbers matter as much as just your circle of influence, okay? Your circle of influence, your ability to nurture relations. Most people are going to come up with cookie cutter solutions. You don't have to do that. So by simply disengaging from all those stupid talking points, you rise right to the top, and then you play with the winners, okay? And those ones that have the eyes, they will pick you up in no time. You're not going to escape it. They can feel it. Just the comfort, they just know this is my husband, this is my wife. Just focus on working on yourself, okay? But please don't come up with talking points that basically put time on hold. It does not exist, okay? You do not own your life like that. You're not in that. You don't have that kind of control. I want you to focus on the things you can control, which is working on yourself. Work on your relationship skills. Work on your communication skills, right? Work on your understand the nuances of what makes life beautiful, not the absolute. It's either black or white. It's either you disagree or I agree. It's either it's red or blue. Life, unfortunately, you can look around you, does not work that way, okay? People are gravitated towards you when they see what they want. When they see a party they want to be a part of, they want to be a part of it, right? And when that happens, you are generating good results, right? If you are attracting the wrong type of people, there's something about you that's attracting them. There's only one part of that you can control: self. Okay? So why black corporate women find it hard to find marriage? They don't have a difficult time finding sex. That's not the issue here. They don't have a difficult time jumping from in and out, like she said. Okay? The issue is to secure long-term, sustainable, healthy marriage. Not just random marriage. Healthy, right? That's the issue we're dealing with, and it's possible. But we cannot keep moving around with that with blindfolds on. We have to say, hey, there are principles that guide this stuff. I need to learn those principles. If you need help, engage a coach, engage wise counsel, because there are patterns everywhere. You might just not know. Start with the patterns of the results we're talking about. Look at all these results around you. Start with that, right? But you need second set of eyes to help you with this kind of things, because I'm telling you, the issues are everywhere. Pandemic everywhere. Somebody said, I'm a corporate VP who got married just 3 years ago after over 20 years of being single in corporate, and I just had our first child at 43. I can definitely say I wasn't as intentional about my love life as I was about my career. After taking so many losses, my heart couldn't take the constant disappointment, so I focused on the success in my career. When I made having a family my main priority over my career, my soulmate came, and I'm so grateful. That is fantastic to read. I'm glad I read that. At any age, intentions. Not putting time on hold. At any age, you are intentional. Like, this is the result I'm looking for. How do I go about it with respect to our world, our social construct, emotional intelligence, all these beautiful things that you know from textbook? How do you apply it to your own story? That's easier said than done, but it's absolutely doable. Attraction is always at work. It's a given, it's a default. But what are you focused on? Wherever you focus on, it expands. So, I don't see white or other POC corporate executive women having this issue or sharing their regret. Why black women Okay, so this person is angry that they share this. I feel your pain. Maybe, and just hear me out, but maybe the corporate executive black women pursuing a career isn't the issue. Maybe it's the men who choose not to pursue her. You can't control that. See, that angle is just already terrible. It's wrong. Anything that has to do with pointing fingers at the other side, you cannot control that. It's always a wrong move. The same way I drag the men for doing that. It's always a wrong move to point fingers at anything but self. It's a victim mindset, and you cannot engage your power in the same breath. It cannot work. I think we have to come to the realization that everyone is not meant to be a parent, and marriage isn't for everyone. Her life's purpose is probably leading people and inspiring young women. Job well done. That's such a terrible comment to make after the person just said with their own mouth that that wasn't her intentions. You see how we just plug nonsense into where it doesn't belong? Why would we won't be having this conversation if she didn't say anything? Clearly, she wanted marriage. How is everything this person just said relevant to this? I know how. It's a talking point. It sounds sweeter. It alleviates the pain of having to face it. Maybe what we've been doing hasn't been working. It's okay. We're patient. We're going to have the conversation. Yes, sister, get in and get out. Love this message. It's universal. Wahala. That's all they heard in that. Love, love, love. Okay. So wait, is she somebody? Let me see who she is. Before I see that, this is dynamic, authentic, and extremely accountable advice. As a married corporate woman, I think back on the advice she's give that I think is the meat of this is that be intentional. And I like that part of it, but the getting in and out, that's not the world is not set up that way, unfortunately. Okay, I know you would like to be able to do what men do, ladies, but you know some men these days are also they would like to do what women do. Both of it cannot work. You're a lady and they are men, right? We got to stay in our roles because there's a reason, it's a natural part of us that nurture us in that direction. And when you're swimming against the trend, it's okay, but you better know what you're doing, because if you don't know what you're doing, you will drown. You will drown, okay? As a married corporate woman, I think back on how fortunate I was to find a person in college. It allowed me to climb the ladder in a nurturing environment that had significant positive impact, both personally and professionally. I appreciate the honesty, and based on some very impressive but single black women I know, this is 100% true. Eric and Pittman, I hope your highest wishes find you soon. I think she's going to be fine. The way she was well articulated. Who is she? An author, a brand architect. This is the lady right here. You know, I think she's going to be fine. You know, I think she's going to be fine. And I mean, once you start to realizing that, hey, I went a different direction. Maybe I could have gone this. I'm going to follow her. You know, I want to check out what she's up to. But this was a good video. Just to help us see where things are. The talking points, they have to be checked now. Once it sounds too sweet, let's check it. Okay? You know, including all my own talking points. Whenever I say, hey, you better know what you're doing so you don't drown. Check it. Don't just take it and run with it as a religion, because it might end up hurting you. Check it. Let's process it. Is this applicable to my story? Am I internalizing way too much? Is this sounding too sweet and I'm losing the essence of my own unique story? Let's check all spirits. Test all spirits. Don't just accept anything because it sounds good. Right? Not everybody is set up to be a parent. Well, nobody is talking to people that are not set up to be a parent. That is absolutely true. If you're not set up to be a parent, you will not be in this conversation outside of just having an opinion. So she's clearly not that person. That's projection at best. That was projection at best. Anyway, please bring some smoke to this conversation. Bring some smoke, all right? Let me know what your thoughts are. Let's continue to have the conversation. As you can see, all-rounder, everybody collects stray bullet everywhere. I know. Okay, please bring me some smoke too, because I fit collect stray bullet too. It's okay. Let's have a conversation. Let's keep learning together. But my own job is, hey, the results we are creating, it's not working. Don't you think that what you are saying is destroying? It's not working. Don't you think we should pay attention? All right, and I would like to engage that conversation with you. So do me a favor, hit that like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified whenever we go live. Okay, and as usual, I'll be back in no time, maybe about 20 seconds or so. How about go find a video? Just go and find a video and watch a video on this platform. We've got tons of them coming in like that. Okay, if you're looking for a coach, you can see the information scrolling through the screen. Take advantage. Get the books are free. You know, let's take advantage. I have all this material. Let's take advantage of it. Okay. All right. I'll see you in about 20 seconds.
It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough,